More than 2 years after launching on PC and 1 year after its Xbox Series X and S version, Fatshark's Warhammer 40k Darktide is finally coming to PS5. It's available on December 3rd for $39.99, though purchasing the $59.99 Imperial Edition grants 6 days of early access, thus allowing players to start on November 27th. A lot has changed with the co-op shooter since its initially troubled launch, and several new features have been added to transform it into a new game. Check out 14 things you should know about the PS5 version, including the upcoming Grim Protocols update before launch. Classes. Each class has different starting weapons befitting their playstyles and abilities. The Veteran, for example, is all about ranged weapons, dealing more damage to weak spots. The Ogryn is your tank, taking up space and slapping enemies around with heavy attacks. And finally, there's the Psyker, who can deal extensive damage with psychic attacks, but can self-detonate when racking up too much peril. Talent trees. While classes originally had feats, they're replaced with talents and corresponding trees with branches. Leveling up allows for allocating points into nodes that increase stats, improve your aura, and so on. Though each class has 3 builds, you can mix and match nodes depending on your requirements, creating options like a Veteran who can deal range damage but also restores toughness and staggers all enemies in a 9-meter radius. You can even go from a frontline fighting class to one specializing in throwing knives and backstabs, a Psyker that shields, and a taunt for the Ogryn, making for more effective tanking. Four-player co-op. While you could very well play through Darktide solo, the appeal is in co-op. Up to 4 players are supported, and there is cross-play between all platforms, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5 when it launches. Matchmaking is one avenue, but there is another method for players seeking more matches: the Party Finder. Party Finder. Recently added last September, the Party Finder allows selecting your game mode, difficulty level, and language to search for the desired group. You can assign tags like casual, hardcore, power leveling, quick play, or all welcome to specify goals or mindsets. It's also possible to create a party dedicated to Havoc assignments. More details on that shortly, with players deciding which to pursue. Weapons. What would a Warhammer 40k game be without weapons? Darktide offers an extensive range from tactical axes, power mauls, combat axes, and bully clubs to swords for melee combat. Ranged weapons include laser guns, flamers, force staves, ripper guns, bolt guns, shotguns, and much more. Each has a different rarity, which determines perks, with salvaged being the lowly white color rarity, with neither, and transcendent acting as the topmost, orange color rarity, offering 2 of each. Weapon Mastery. As part of this year's Unlocked and Loaded update, Mastery provides more freedom in customizing your arms. As you use a weapon and progress through the Mastery track, points are gained and spent on traits. You need to spend 4 points to get the very best, but this allows for more freely selecting specific traits. But that's not all. As the Mastery track allows for increasing a weapon's power cap and equipping stronger perks, it's also possible to sacrifice weapons of the same family to gain Mastery track XP for the same, though attempting to hand over profane weapons could result in issues. Read death. Maps. Tertium, the setting of Darktide, consists of multiple zones, each breaking down into separate sections where missions occur. The Carnival is where stims flow freely among the citizenry, though it's since been taken over by the traitorous Mobian Sixth. By contrast, Chasm Terminus is a railway hub and the epicenter of the battle against the forces of chaos. There are 20 missions in all, not including the prologue and Operation Rolling Steel, with a new one, Dark Communion, to be added in the next update. Mission types. While players face and slay hordes of enemies, there is some order to the overarching anarchy, courtesy of different mission types. Assassination involves reaching and taking down a boss and overcoming their minions in the process. However, investigation is about scanning the area for objects. While different mission types can appear on several maps, operations is limited to its own map and offers a considerably faster-paced experience. Special conditions. Different conditions can arise through missions depending on the mode, increasing the amount of XP and dockets. These range from high-intensity engagement zones where more specialists and enemy hordes appear, to power supply interruptions, or lights out, where there is barely any light. You also have Pox Gas, which reduces toughness when standing in it, and where abilities that restore toughness can come in handy. Contracts and rewards. Contracts are like weekly challenges, with 5 available weekly at Sire Melk's Requistorium. They award Ordo ingots, which can be spent on limited-time items, including transcendent rarity weapons and curios. You can also invest in mystery acquisitions for weapons and curios, though they're completely randomized. Penances. Penances offer in-game challenges in which players can compete for cosmetics. Last year saw an overhaul in the system, updating existing penances and changing them to allow for easier solo completion. There are also new penances for each class, like knocking down 5,000 enemies with the Ogren, or slaying 350 enemies with weak spot damage from range as the veteran. Havoc. Launching alongside the PS5 version in the Grim Protocols update, Havoc is a new post-trust level 30 progression system. It consists of 40 order levels, each with specialized missions, aka Havoc assignments, and modifiers that add to the challenge. You get 3 attempts to complete the assignment, with enemy types and placement changing on each attempt. Succeed, and you go to the next rank, which brings new challenging modifiers to add to the challenge, though only 2 can be active on a mission at a time. Havoc Mutators and Conditions. The Mutators and Havoc assignments are noteworthy since they include 4 brand new and exclusives to the mode. You may also run into conditions every few order levels, including Lights Out, Pox Gas, and Ventilation Purge, which add even more challenge to the assignment, especially when dealing with enemies who thrive in these conditions. Console performance. When it first launched, Warhammer 40k Darktide received extensive criticism for its performance on PC. It improved with multiple updates to the point where even the Xbox Series X version ran well. However, performance has seemingly ping-ponged back and forth between acceptable and iffy for console players since the last several updates. We don't know how much this will affect the PS5 version or what bugs will emerge with a major update like Grim Protocols. With advanced access starting soon, it's a good idea to wait and see how the performance is before buying. Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Bolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.